The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. My mom is in studio today.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Animal
leopard print. Yeah. Brian Frangi's here. Noah's here.
Was that song in 1.1 speed, or am I going insane?
1.1?
Did that feel like it was slightly faster?
Like 1/10 faster?
I feel like I'm losing my mind. That felt
that is really an imperceptible amount of speed more. Like, I feel like you start to notice when it's 1.25, but below that, I think you could trick everyone. Except when you're listening to comedy, because laughs go, ha, 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 like people's, like when you're listening to stand-up, because I always speed it up, and then the laughter sounds insane, but the person sounds normal.
It sounds like everyone's just making fun of the comedian. Real
laugh.
Funny.
I do like listening to Fast Forward on podcasts.
Yeah.
Get those done.
Get them done.
Get them done.
Get information in fast.
Yeah. And there's no reason to listen to somebody hesitate.
No, because that would build suspense, and who needs that in this kind of world we're living in?
We gotta live
I need
quickly.
to know what's going to happen right now.
Exactly.
Tell me. I don't need any kind of. I can't even. I sometimes will see stand-ups that have really pregnant pauses in between jokes, and I just cannot.
Well, they're waiting for a laugh.
No, they're not. Like they let the laughter die down, and then they take a sip of water, and then they like hold for a beat, and it's like very impressive to me, because I'm desperate to not ever have any moment where anyone can start letting in the thought, she sucks.
Oh.
So if I keep dancing, no one ever thinks she's ugly and she sucks.
Huh.
And that's why you keep. That's why you talk so much, is because you don't let anyone in to have the. Because when there's silence, there's thoughts.
I gotcha. Yeah.
makes sense.
No, I feel like I talk too much and is that was that directed at me?
Wait, no.
Okay.
Are you a comedian that has pauses?
No.
stage?
Is there anything more vulnerable than taking a drink of water while you're doing stand-up? I mean,
I literally have never once sipped from water on stage, and I go on stage sometimes for an hour and 30 minutes, and I've never once taken a sip of water, because even though I've desperately needed it, because
God.
I don't want anyone to have a moment to hate me.
Oh my God.
It really is.
That's insane.
And if you also, when I say goodnight, I am instantly walking off the stage. I do a thing now where I'll wave and I'll try to linger, but I am walking as I wave. I would never just stand there and take it in, because that's other time for people to think.
What are they going to do?
That wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Like,
Are they going to slow down on the clapping?
Or like I might see them like getting up and starting to talk amongst themselves about me. Like, I just don't want to hear any feedback that they might not like me. Okay. And so I just run off stage instantly. People like stand out there and bask in it. I could never, ever do that. I'm like Taylor Swift. I want the floor to open up and just to fall beneath it. I don't even like to walk. That is my dream, is to be lowered.
Where people are specifically buying tickets for your show. They're not just like showing up to a comedy club and whoever's on the roster.
Oh, I know. It's been like this for years, and I will never lose the feeling that I'm not good. And you don't want me to lose that. I'm listening to my fans who love me so much and want me to have self-esteem. No, you don't. You don't want me to get used to it or think that I'm cool or think that I'm good, because that is anti-comedy to me. For me, I think there are some comedians that can like themselves and still be funny, but not me. I need to be desperate for your approval. Otherwise, the second I start going like, I'm amazing, and like I feel it shift, and I get less funny. And we've seen it with like the best comedians that have finally found this massive success. They always take a dip, because their audiences just applaud everything they say. They stop trying, because you don't need to try as hard when everyone likes you for no reason, because you're famous.
Well, you got to try to get better always.
You just have to keep finding new ways to hate yourself and be disappointed in yourself.
Heard it like that, but I get it. I understand.
Keeps you going.
There's another way.
You.
I mean, I guess if you're so famous, if you're like Seinfeld or something and everybody knows you, then it's hard. But like, if you just make an effort to go out and perform in front of groups of people that aren't your fans, I think that helps too.
That's good. And I do that a lot. I do sets all the time when I'm in LA, and people know who I am and are excited to see me, but I literally never even think about my audience as like, because I think about the people that are coming to see me that are like fans of mine, but I think about the guy they brought with them who's never heard of me, or the woman that I met this weekend who said, I had never heard of you before, and now I'm a fan. Like, I think about those people that kind of have to be sold on me and are kind of like, or the people that are expecting me to have like the kind of tight roast set that I had at Tom Brady. Like, I'm thinking, I'm going to disappoint those people because they expect me to like roast the front row, and I'm not going to do that.
So
now,
Right.
I always am feeling like I'm disappointing people, but I think it's good.
You could throw one roast in there just to, you could just say like, you look like a pig or whatever, and then move on.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
You're ugly.
The problem is, if I look at them, then I will see them, and I can't see their faces, because if I see that they're not having fun or like they're looking at their phone or something, I will take it too personally and it'll derail my set. So in order to roast them, I have to look at them. But I blur my eyes.
Oh, yeah, you said you can do that.
And so I don't see anyone. And I hope you don't take that offensively if you're like someone who comes to my show and they're like, I want you to see me. Like, I go to Taylor Swift shows. There's no part of me that's like, she saw me. Like, I've lost that kind of... That was like a hope I had when I saw Dave Matthews in high school. Now, as a performer, I know you can't. And she does point at people and goes, I love your outfit. Like, she does look at people, but
she's just looking at their outfits.
I'm not going to get seen by Taylor Swift. So if you're going to my show to get seen by me, I'm so sorry. Just DM me. I'll like your thing, or like post a picture of me and I'll DM you back. Thank you. And I will totally see you then.
Yeah.
But that's all I
at the
can
meet
promise.
and greets.
I don't do those
no
anymore.
more.
Oh,
I'm so proud of you for giving those up.
I see that. So I put the mandate out for no more meet and greets after the roast, because I was just adding all these dates, and Chris and I have been talking about, like, for safety measures and just for my health measure, because it's just not about shaking hands. It's just too much, and it's just it's exhausting, and because I like to give it my all, and I actually do have fun at them, but like you can't keep doing things just because they're fun.
Your
if
ass
they're
has
exhausting.
been grazed enough.
Yes, my ass has been slightly grazed by someone who, my wife is a fan. I don't know. I liked the roast you did. Tonight was a little bit different, but you did good, kid.
Hey,
That I have had enough of that.
Enough,
but I will
yeah.
miss meeting so many people. But
It's so much fun to be there.
It's so fun
watching you.
But
greet your fans.
It is tiring, and it's
It takes a
you
lot
can't
of-
keep going to raves your whole life. You might be someone who used to like go to raves or go out to parties. Like you could argue that's fun. Why don't you keep doing that? Like, because you can't. Like, and so it's not. I'm not saying meet and greets aren't fun, because I think a lot of people when they come up and meet me at them, they go, I know you hate this, and it's like, I don't. I truly don't. It's just, it's a whole other show. I have to be very charismatic, and it's genuine. There's not any part of me that's like faking it. Maybe there is when a guy says something rude and I have to just be like, okay, bye, sir. But genuinely, like, besties who have met me, like, you know that I'm not faking that. I'm so excited. Like, I met, this weekend, there was a bestie that's listened to every show. I was so excited to meet her. We met, what's her name? Renee at Eras in Indy.
Right.
I was so excited to meet her.
Right.
Please find me in
Did you know
public.
who she was by chance?
If she would have said I'm Renee Guitar,
Okay.
I would have been like, oh, of course, because I've even commented on her name when she's been in the lives watching me play guitar. I'm like, your name's Guitar. Please don't judge me. I'm so sorry to bastardize your last name. And so I would have known, but she just said Renee, so I didn't connect it.
She's the one with the guy that was in
Yes.
the tuxedo.
And that's her husband.
Oh, her husband.
Yeah,
okay.
and she wrote to me laughing so much because she was like, "That's so funny. You thought he was gay." But he
my
was dressed
God.
like
Did
a
you
guy
say
in the
that?
show. Yeah, I said it on the show
We
that
talked about it
I
on
was
the pod.
unclear of if it was her husband or her gay friend. But
He's just a great dresser.
Oh, the mystery's revealed.
it was revealed he is her husband, and she took no offense.
Yeah.
And but by the way, why would anyone take offense to being thought that they were gay? Like, that shouldn't be something that people go, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I thought you were gay." Being gay is awesome. I'm not. I'm done apologizing if I think
Right.
someone's gay and they're not. That's insulting to gay
Well,
people.
it could be insulting to him because he's
Why?
like, why do I look so feminine? Do I look feminine?
But why
or-
is that a bad thing?
I don't, because macho men don't like that.
I know. Well, that's a weakness of theirs. If they can't.
feminine isn't necessarily like gay. Like, you
No,
could
not
be
at all.
Straight and feminine, which is
Yes.
No, they were the sweetest couple ever. They came attacked
sweetest.
me.
Yeah.
They're like, we have something for you.
And they had a friendship bracelet that said, "Just kidding."
Just kidding.
Aw.
So cute.
I was
That's
like,
great.
what? Can we get your picture?
Isn't it so
Yeah.
cute to get a bracelet made for you, Julie?
Oh my God. I was astounded. I was like, what? That is the cutest thing ever.
But I do have meet and greets left on my shows, but those tickets are already sold, and any added shows do not have meet and greets. So I'm
Gotcha.
still doing meet and greets until the end of December because those
Okay.
shows were sold
Oh,
before
I
Tom
see.
Brady roast. But after the roast, I said no more. So, and I'll probably get to a point in my career where I'll start meeting people again,
Yeah.
where it will make more sense. But it just
Like when you're in your 70s.
yeah.
it's
When
like
I'm
up
like
and down.
back. Yeah, because it's like I will have, it won't be that many people. Now it's too many people. It's like,
It's a long line.
and I really
that.
want to focus on the show. I want to focus my energy there because when I have 2 shows in a night and I have a meet and greet in between, like I'm
no,
pretty
that's
drained for the
terrible.
second show. And then that's robbing the second show of an energy that I could have brought to them.
Yeah.
But I'll miss, but I will say that a lot of people have been coming up being like, you're not doing these anymore for much longer, right? Like they are even aware of it. They're like, why are we getting to meet you? And I go, I don't really know. I'm happy because
Well, you're getting bigger and more famous.
I'm the best meet and greet you will possibly get. If
You
you ever
really
got to
are.
meet and greet me, I dare you to have a better experience
I
with a
agree.
celebrity
Yeah.
than me. I really do because and I'm but not because I'm phoning it in. Like I know how much it matters when I've met people.
Yeah.
For them to say my name, look me in the eye, have a moment with me.
Yeah.
Like I really try to give that because I know what it feels like, and I want you to feel that way because I'm so grateful for your fandom and your support, and I want you to feel good about having done it. So
Right.
I put a lot of work into it, and I just don't want to. I don't want to sit in a chair and have people come in and not be able to talk to me and just look at the camera, and then I could do meet and greets like that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
The way the Dixie
Yeah.
Chicks did when I
And
met
they
them
do
in
that,
the year
right?
2000.
Yeah.
Filed in, told not to look at them, not to talk to them, stand behind them as they sit in director's chairs.
Wow.
And then shuffle back out of the room without a word.
Not a hi.
Not
hello?
a hello, like maybe a
Oh,
smile.
boy.
Maybe there was like a hi, but I remember being like,
Wow.
that was dumb.
Interesting.
And that made me like them less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got to think about that. Like you think all these things are going to make people like you more. That I would say I
Just
I
don't
like
do it
the
at that point.
Dixie Chicks less after
Yeah.
that. It was supposed to be additive and it was not.
I don't blame you,
Emmy
Nikki.
nominated or Grammy nominated artists can say that about their dedication to their fans.
I think that's a good point.
Grammy.
I am nominated for a Grammy.
Grammy.
I can't believe it.
We're so
I think it's
proud
like
of
a
you.
joke or something.
No,
You're going to get this
joke.
one too. This one is in the
All
bag.
right, Brian.
I don't know if it's in the bag.
In the bag, in the bag.
Yeah.
There's no Dick Van Dyke's not in this one.
Yeah,
Billy
that's
Joel's not in this one. It's just you versus comedians, and that's the way it should be.
No,
You
I'm
guys need to
nominated for
change.
best traditional R&B album.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It's you versus Usher.
Yeah, they put me in there as a DEI hire. Yeah, it's best comedy album. It's just like it's just funny because as a comedian, you never think you're going to win a Grammy or be nominated for a Grammy. It's not even like
Yeah.
in the scope of. I mean, even an Emmy, I was just like, I don't think that there was never the end game or even a thing on my radar when I started doing comedy.
Wow. But they say it's an album, and I mean, it all sounds
Because it is. It's an audio album.
okay.
You
I'm
just
just-
thought I was getting a Grammy for my special? Like
No,
the visual
No. For your
song?
no.
No, okay. So
For the
yes,
for the sound.
for the sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just
There was
saying
good
it's
sounds
funny.
in that special. I mean,
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm just
really
saying
funny
an
sounds.
album. It just sounds crazy that
That
Yeah,
nobody has
comedy
albums.
Comedy album. Yeah.
Well, we are so.
remember when you took out that
excited.
horn and you started honking that horn? That was a funny one.
But it is cool that I did have my song on. I do have my song on the album. So I am.
Yeah.
If you win the Grammy,
I will have won for singing.
Yes,
at
that's
least
right.
one part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it is
did
on
have
there.
it was a factor.
And it
I have
could,
to say,
yeah.
but you definitely should not do meet and greets anymore as much as that hurt. I mean, I don't blame you at all. It's even like J.K. Rowling used to do like book signings at midnight for like the Harry Potter books when she was like first starting, and like people would line up around the store doing that, and
Yeah.
then she stopped doing them around like book 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody
Right.
does it. I stopped
Everybody
doing meet
quits.
and greets years ago because it was just too awkward standing there with avoiding eye contact with everybody who was leaving.
Oh, I never, ever, when I was a middle act, even when I was a headliner at clubs when people were just going to the club because they won free tickets and they didn't know who it was, I would never wait after the show.
Oh, I know.
And like collect my congratulations, great shows, whatever it was, because I never want people to give me something they don't want to give me. And when you are faced with walking out of a show, you have to say good job. And if you don't, they really must hate you. And so that feels really bad. So even the good jobs don't mean anything because you're kind of forcing them by lingering outside the door. But some people just don't care. They love it. I could never. I could never.
Out there.
I did a thing recently where I got off stage and had a really good showing on stage. It was no question that I did a great job. Okay. I walk off stage and like you just like when you walk off stage, I would not have chosen this. I would have loved to go through the floor and not have to meet anyone because again, even when I do a great job, I don't really want people to have to say it.
Right.
But I was walking off stage into an area where people kind of had to say it. And I put my head down and I'm kind of like, yeah. And everyone's like, woo, good job. And I have to walk by this very famous person who just saw me and who I said hi to very briefly before the show because I was very intimidated by
Oh my gosh.
him. And was like, I'm such a big fan. And they were kind of like, like, but didn't really say it back, but I didn't expect them to. I was just like, okay, I just wanted to say I'm a big fan. So that was before. And then that person, 2 hours later is standing right. I have to walk by them. And it's like, I am walking through a gauntlet of good jobs. And so I look at the person in the face because I know they have to say it. And I'm just going to be like, here we go. You say good job too, because we just met backstage and that's what you do. Stone faced me. Did not say anything.
What?
And I just walked by and I'm like, oh, not only like I would have understood it if I really bombed. I would have been like, mad respect. You didn't just lie to me, but I didn't.
Oh boy.
I didn't.
Crushed.
And so it was just like, what? It was another one of those moments. I talked about it on the podcast yesterday where you just go, I got your number. I know who you are. I know I don't really respect you anymore because that was so mean for no reason.
Yeah.
The stone facing was because you did so well. They felt now like they're lesser.
No, I don't think it was that. I just think it was like my thing is not to give anyone anything.
Oh yeah, no matter what.
My thing is not to be nice. That's my whole thing is like I'm not a person who says good job to anyone. So I guess great consistency.
Ultimately, that does make them elevated above the other people around them because they're not willing to give any.
But
ground.
I've seen this person say good. Like I've seen this person lose their cool and be a little bit like nicer than they put. And so it was just like okay, great.
I can't wait.
But
to
I was
hear
also I'll tell you later who he was.
They've
but,
been nice to others.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Others that he could get
and I'm a
something
big fan
from?
of this person. Of course.
Yeah.
Or
that's what it is,
others that are just legends in the business that might not be able to get them anything, but everyone just like sucks their dicks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I said dicks. Sucks their dicks, mom.
So
Crass. That for my mother.
Crass
I'm
podcast.
I don't talk
sorry.
like that.
Yeah, you. I don't think. Yeah,
I don't talk like
I
that.
did say one time you could see his. It was a very formative moment for me, but I was.
Here we go.
8 or 9.
Oh.
It must have been. What are you in 4th or 5th grade?
4th grade.
8 or 9, I think.
Yeah,
10. And we were on Blaze Avenue, which was before, so it had to be before 6th grade. And it was a Winter Olympics, so it was 1994. I was 10.
Okay.
I was 9.
I know where you're going.
Sochi.
And
Nagano.
Wow.
Atlanta.
I don't think it was. I think it was Atlanta because it was like the Nancy
Summer
Kerrigan
Olympics?
year.
Oh.
No, it was winter. So
Nagano.
whatever that Nagano. Okay.
Is it Nagano?
No, it wasn't Nagano. It was 1994. It's Winter Olympics. Doesn't matter. So
Okay.
they or maybe it was whatever years around there. There was an ice skater guy, and I said, "Oh my God, you can see his dick because you could."
Right.
And my mom, her neck. Like her head almost snapped off because she was Nikki, and I'm sure there was someone over that was like a neighbor that you just were worried that they were because I probably would have gotten away with saying that if it was our close family.
Well, I never said that word.
I don't think it was the first time I'd ever used the word, but I wasn't trying to be indecent. I was just,
Right. You just
trying not
heard-
to say penis because I knew penis was a bad word.
That's even worse.
But I was trying to come up with a different word. And then another time, and you were like, Nikki. And I remember being like, oh, that's a bad word. Cannot ever say dick, ever, ever, ever. And then another time, I was talking about
God, you have
someone in our
a memory.
Well, no, I have memories of when I've been like when people go Nick, like you have memories of when someone shames you about something you've done. You definitely carry childhood memories of that.
Maybe.
Yeah, and everyone's memories. People go whenever someone. This is just a note. When someone remembers something that you don't. It's not because you have a bad memory. Anya does this all the time. I'll say I remember something. She goes, you have the best memory. And I go, no, I remember that because it was emotionally disturbing to me in some way. You don't remember it because it wasn't. Like, it's not, but you remember emotionally
I kind of
disturbing
remember
things.
This, though, to be honest.
But I've told you about it a lot, I
But
think.
as soon as you said it, I was like,
But another time I told we were talking about someone in your friend group. And you were complaining about him, and I said, he's such a prick. And you guys were like, you do not say that. And I go, well, you do. It just didn't make any sense to me. But I wasn't like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to keep saying that. Like, I never understood kids that, like, were bad and I would never cuss on purpose. Whenever I got in trouble for cussing, it was always unintentional.
That's probably why I was like, Nikki. Yeah,
because I was not a bad kid. I wasn't like, ooh, I learned a word that makes mommy mad. Like,
no, you never came up with words like that. I'm shocked I'm sure.
Like Don Johnson was just talking about Dakota Johnson, his daughter, who's a famous actress, and they were on Kimmel, and he was asking her like, what was she like as a kid?
Right.
And he was like, you couldn't leave your phone out around her because she would pick someone in your contacts and just send them a text message of filthy things.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I would have been so in trouble. I would have never done something like that. And I wish there was a part of me that was like, God, I wish I was like more of an interesting kid like Dakota.
That's a really bad child, really.
But that's cool. I think that's a cool story. That's colorful. It like gives you an idea of what kind of kid she was.
Yeah.
I was just like picking my nose and had buck teeth and was kind of just like, what? And just staring at things and like,
I don't
and
remember.
going this with my nose all the time because you guys
Poor
smoked
Nick.
inside. No big deal. Just the reason I had sinus
boy.
infections my whole childhood. But we don't know why she did. And then, and then it comes out that smoking. Give me a break. You guys didn't know. It's the 80s. No one knew.
Thank God I don't smoke anymore.
Thank God. Okay, we'll be coming right back after this. I think. Yeah, you don't smoke anymore. You haven't smoked for how long?
It's been almost 13 years.
That's so good.
I know.
Congratulations.
So proud of you. Yeah.
Oh, damage is done.
Your lungs regenerate after
Yeah, they
like
do,
10
true.
years. They're like brand new lungs.
I do get them checked every year. I get an
And they're no good.
X-ray done. They're no good.
shit.
No, they're actually
No, they're good, right?
They're good. It's like
Oh, so
shocking.
there you go.
So excited. Every
That's
time I
great.
get that X-ray, I'm like,
So kids, you don't need to quit smoking.
you don't
till
need
you're
to quit till you're like 50 something.
or whatever
true.
it was. No, it's I've actually
I cross my fingers.
I have a
every
friend
day.
who smokes, and recently I've been really stressed on the road, and I was like, I want to be bad. Like I want to just do something bad.
Could be tempting, yeah.
And I asked him for a cigarette, and I took like 2 puffs and was like, this is fucking disgusting. And then I did it again a couple weeks later and felt the same way and was like, this is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And it was so great to know that I can just like do it, feel a little bit bad and go,
Yeah.
"Ugh," and
Good
walk
for you.
away. Like I used to always think, oh, you'll get sucked back in. I don't recommend that for people who miss smoking a lot. I don't
Right.
miss it. I don't think about it a lot. It's been for me 15 years, if it's been 13 for you. So I was ready to just like test the waters. And it makes me think that I could probably have a glass of wine and be like, I don't need more than this, but I don't want to test that one because
I think you'd be fine.
I know I have a lot of self-control. I think
You are amazing.
because I won't do anything that's going to fuck with my career.
Yeah.
And
You
that
made that
to-
great decision when you made it. I was so proud of
My
you.
health doesn't matter. My career,
Your career.
only thing that I care about. Truly, if you tell me, if you want me to stop
She's
behavior,
honest.
if you want me to
why I
stop
love her.
behavior and say you will be less successful in your career if you do this, I'll stop doing that in a fucking heartbeat.
yeah.
And but there are also things that if I would be more successful if I did it and I don't do. But I will say if something I'm doing is going to make me less, I will stop it.
Yeah.
But nothing else will get me to stop it. Not my health, or vanity will too.
Health, as you get older, you realize, oh my God. I used to laugh at that when people would go, well, at least you got your health. And it's like, what? Who gives a shit about health?
Yeah.
It's all about anything else. You don't
and
even
then you
think
start
about it
getting
when
sick,
you're young.
and you start feeling
Then
bad,
you
and then you
start-
realize how bad it feels to feel
It's
bad.
really bad. Jen.
Yeah.
Have bad health.
Yeah.
You just gotta.
How's
Yeah,
your
nothing
health?
else matters at
good.
all.
Yeah, Brian's had struggles too with pain and stuff. And
Yeah,
it's
I
just
mean,
nothing else matters.
But as a teenager, if you ever thought at this age you are that I'd be, you'd struggle with pain, like Brian, would you have thought? There's no way. Who cares? No, you just wouldn't think that.
When I was a teenager, I had IBS, and I would go to the hospital like every 4 months. And so I was
poor
like
thing.
that.
I'm
I was
sorry. You
like,
are
when will the
the
pain
exception.
end?
Oh my
Oh,
god!
you poor thing.
That's gone now.
What is it? I mean, it just goes away, or you've got it under control.
No, I did. I cured it with the DNRS program. Now I have no IBS at all.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't-
miracle.
DNRS program.
The DNRS
don't-
program.
Would you like
Okay.
to expound on that?
elaborate. Just a touch.
Well, it's
is it
just- it's-
food, diet?
It's psychosomatic. I mean, IBS
Okay.
is a psychosomatic disorder. It is not. It is due to stress, anxiety, and emotions. And I cured it. I went to all these doctors. I went to, all these specialists who did all these tests on me, all these genetic tests, and I sent my shit. I froze it and sent it to Texas, and they did tests on that. And everyone tried to give me different pills and make me do different things, and nothing worked. The only thing that worked was realizing that it was my brain that was creating the pain. And
Oh.
through the DNRS and other things, I was able to get rid of it completely. I can eat whatever I want with no pain. So if you have IBS out there,
There's
It really
hope.
bothers people.
you can cure it.
To being told that their brain is causing the pain, but the truth is that no matter if you break a bone, your brain is what's sending the pain signal.
Right.
So it's like it doesn't matter if it's your emotions or stress causing you pain. Your pain's still valid. We still feel sorry for you. You still should get all the sympathy in the world. But because we don't give people with mental illness sympathy like we do people with a cancer or a disease, a physical disease. And by the way, a brain is a physical thing. So there is a physical element to diseases. It's just on if you have bipolar, there's something in your brain that's doing something different than other people's brain. Or if you're have OCD, like your brain, literally there probably is a physical thing going on in your brain. Don't you think? It's not just all.
Well, your
Like
brain controls everything in your body, so
Your
it can
brain
create
is physical.
symptoms.
Neurons are physical. It's not
Yeah,
like
you have
just
to
energy.
rewire the neuropathic pathways.
So, but we need to change the way we talk about psychosomatic things as it's your feelings, because that makes that turns people off of ever accepting it. We have to just say it's your brain is doing something, is causing the pain. Like your brain is doing a physical thing that's causing the pain. So if you really want to focus on a physical thing that's going wrong, it's in your brain.
Yeah.
And you got to tuck your brain out of that physical.
And the
pain.
treatment is
You got
You have to train it. You have to develop new pathways that are positive as opposed to negative due to your triggers and things like that. They call it a learned brain injury. They call it retraining your brain.
Was it overnight with you doing this DNRS stuff, or was it a gradual?
For the IBS, it was, I knew that it was my brain. I knew that it wasn't what I was eating. And then I saw some slideshow or something online that someone put on the slideshow. It's not your diet. It's not your diet. No matter what you're thinking, the one thing that's true is that it's not your diet. So then I just kept thinking that. And then once I realized that, whenever I saw food that I was scared was going to cause some huge reaction, I would eat double. And it would be really horrible. For about 2.5 months, I would be like, oh, I can't have pho because that'll give me horrible stomach cramps. And then I'd be like, well, now that I thought that, I'm going to eat double pho.
Yeah.
And then I would eat double pho and I would be in horrible pain, but I would just keep going. And then after 2 months of doing that, the pain just went away.
Wait, you ate double pho just
Double
to
pho.
test it? To test it?
Yeah.
It's just like going again. It's like your brain develops a negative association with the foods that cause you symptoms, and
Right.
so when you eat them, you're
Exposure therapy.
scared. You're scared to
Exposure
eat them,
therapy.
and that causes your brain to be like, "This is dangerous. You shouldn't eat this," and then it gives you horrible symptoms. And
It's
the
like in
more
the
you
back
practice,
But why
Yeah,
would
it's
you
exactly like
double?
that.
Well, it's the back book where they say if you have back pain, instead of every time you bend down and you have that and you brace for it, you go just keep doing those motions. Don't avoid moving in ways that make your body
That tense
pain
up your
because
muscles.
when you avoid it, you're causing the stress of this is going to hurt, and that feeling of it's going to hurt causes the hurt because it's the hurt is caused from stress. So you're the stress over the pain is causing the pain.
Well, you're
And
also
so
just
it tells
practicing.
you to do those moves a lot.
When
more.
when you bend over and you go, oh, this causes back pain, you're just practicing that pathway in your brain that leads to pain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like learning a scale on an instrument.
Right. So you're practicing your brain learning this isn't about the movement. This isn't about the movement. This is in my head. So when you do the painful thing, you tell yourself it's not the movement that's causing this. It's not the movement that's causing
Right.
this.
And you can go even further, and instead of saying it's not the movement that's causing this, you can make a positive association with that. It's even stronger. And you just practice that over and over again until you start acting normal.
And what's the positive association? Give us one.
So like the DNRS program, you do these things called rounds where you will trigger yourself, like exposure therapy, to something like if it's your back, you're bending over, if it's a food, you'll have a little bit of the food. And then you put yourself in it's kind of like meditation, but you do these positive associations where you think about positive memories and you let yourself feel calm and positive, and you put yourself in that space after exposing yourself to the thing that causes you problems. And over the course of many, many rounds and a lot of time and a lot of practice, eventually it's a stronger pathway to go to the positive thing than to the negative thing, and your brain will automatically do that without even trying.
Without having to think about it.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like how I've been using slay recently without having to try. So Emily has taught me all of these Gen Z terms like slay, dead, that slaps.
Slay is mean you're killing it?
Yeah. Oh my God. That's slay.
Oh, slay.
Please. Like, not you wearing animal print today. Like phrases like that. So Chris and I didn't really talk that much for about a month and a half because he was so busy on his work thing. We would text I love you, I miss you, quick things. And over that month and a half, I've just hung out with Emily so much that I've started talking differently. At first I would intentionally write to her oh, that's slay. I would almost jokingly Nikki's using this. And we all know my struggle with these words. But I have recently been saying slay sincerely and slaps without having to think about it.
What is
it's just a
slaps?
part of my slaps is that fucking cool. That kills.
Oh,
that
okay.
slapped. That song slaps.
Huh.
And it doesn't sound weird to me when I say it, in my head. I'm sure to others. But the other day, I was talking about the cold open for SNL after the election, and I was telling Chris, oh my God, the cold open fucking slayed. And I could tell, right after I went right back to millennial speak with him, hardcore, because I'm I don't want him to think I've changed since we've been on this kind of
a month and a half.
Because
what's going on.
I would have been, if he would have said slays to me, I'm who are you fucking? Who taught you slays and why are you using it it's a normal thing and it's not ironic? But yeah, I think that I think that's anything in life, no matter how much I think it won't work. This sounds like it won't work, you have to make new. If I keep telling myself I love myself, then I won't even have to tell myself I love myself. I just will. That just sounds like hogwash. Or I'll bend over in this way that has hurt me for years and years. Yeah, Emily has not approved of that. That phrase does not slap.
that old-timey word.
That sucks. Wait, by the way, Emily said that the word cool is not used by Gen Z. Literally,
Whoa.
Cool is unused.
What about awesome?
And she said that. Wait, no, awesome. She was no, I don't think she'd
Never.
approve of awesome either.
Yeah.
She also was stop saying thanks. She was she didn't say stop, but she was you're adorable when you write thanks with 2 exclamation marks. She was you always say that and it just sounds too. She's it just is it's just giving. I forget what she said it was
much.
giving. It was just trying too hard. Or she goes, I go, well, then what do you do? I want to be sincere and I want to let people know
Right.
I'm very grateful for what they just did for me via text. And she said TY in all caps, a space, and then a double Exclamation mark.
Oh, so TY.
And I go, that shows
space-
no effort
Oh,
to me.
that's
TY
more
means
effort.
caps?
less.
In
caps.
caps?
Yeah.
And then a
Yeah.
space and then double exclamation.
Yes, space it.
A
I don't
man
understand the
cannot
space.
do that. That is. I cannot see a man doing that.
Or a gay man can. And there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Okay,
Sure.
Not
here
that
we
there's
go.
anything wrong with that. We're getting back to Seinfeld. Seinfeld always did everything first. But yeah, I was thinking about just the you can't even imagine that you will get used to something, or when you first start working out and it hurts so much and you're like, I'll never be strong enough to do this, where there's just what is it about our human brains that just have no faith in ourselves for like learning new habits? It's happened to me. Your whole life is just a bunch of habits that have turned into your personality. But for some reason, when you start a new one, you just go, it won't stick. It's never going to. And it eventually does.
If you keep
Sean
doing it
O'Connor.
consistently.
Sean O'Connor, because he has had to take flights so often to be on the road with me.
Right.
He is terrified of flying.
Okay.
He has to have a special shirt that he brings with him. Not that he wears, that he brings with him.
Okay.
That's like a good luck shirt. That's like a thing. And I'm always worried about him when he's flying out, because I'm like, God, you're just like on the plane. I don't want you to be white knuckling like a 5-hour flight. And sometimes there's turbulence, and I just want him to understand like it's okay. But he says it's gotten so much better because he just has to do it a bunch, and there's no choice.
You're forced.
And he says his anxiety is way less. And I'm so happy to hear that, but it can't not be.
What does he do with that shirt? Does he cover his head with it? Or?
I think it's just like has to be like in his bag or something. It just has to be with him.
Oh.
Do you guys have any superstitions like that?
I mean, I knock on wood all the time whenever I say something that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Do you find wood?
I find wood. It must be wood. I don't accept when someone knocks on their head and goes, "Oh, this is wood," and it's like that's not wood. That's bone and hair.
I agree with you. I was on a red carpet once and said something that made me feel like I jinxed myself. So I said, oh my God, I have to knock on wood. And there was no wood anywhere near a red carpet. So I had to run off the red carpet to like go find a floorboard that was like in a bathroom off the hall that we were in. But it was because even the girl was like, you got to knock on wood. And I was like, oh, fuck, you're right.
Wow.
Like I can't screw myself over like that.
And sometimes you see things that are fake wood, and you think they're real wood, and you knock on that, and you go, wait a second, this is just plastic. This isn't real wood.
Yeah, I always worry about a varnish. What if a wood has a varnish? Does that keep you from the wood because you're not actually knocking on varnish? The real, but the wood is vibrating.
Yeah, it's vibrating. I was going to say.
Okay, so that counts.
That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes I'm in the woods and I'm like, oh, I got to knock on wood, and I look around, I'm like, there's no wood around, and then I realize that trees are wood.
You forget.
Yeah.
So quickly we forget.
Yeah.
Noah, do you have any superstitions?
No, I don't. I mean, they don't pop up into my head. I just feel like whatever happens. It's out of my control.
Oh, that is such a
good for you.
Yeah.
No, that's a healthy.
Sarah.
That's a healthy way to live.
Bullshit thing to say.
No, it's true. The illusion that you have any control over the way that your life is going to happen.
No. If you knock on wood, you will have control.
Everything will be okay.
I do want to believe in manifestation, but I saw a thing about one of my favorite, guys that made manifestation almost about like science that I really believed.
Right.
I even bought Dad his book.
Right.
And then I saw a podcast and listened to a podcast that he's like a quack, Joe Dispenza.
Yeah. Everybody's a fucking quack.
And that he's
Joe
Dispenza.
I've heard of that quack.
Wait.
I was really into what he was putting out for a while,
Well, why are you saying that out loud? You could be in trouble for that.
I'm saying that I heard something that said he was a quack. I'm not saying I think he's a quack, but
I'm
it's
saying
made
he's a
me
quack.
question
I'm clarifying that.
My mom's terrified of me being sued
so worried.
anytime. Canceled because of a guy might manifest. If he can really do what he says he can do, my life could be over very quickly.
Well, you were into manifestation.
I know.
Big time.
I know. I'm still
into
believe
it.
in the like
Me
when I'm on a
too.
plane and I picture it crashing, I instantly stop doing that, and then I picture myself landing and being at the baggage claim board, and it helps me so much because
every
if you
time.
imagine, if you manifest being at the baggage claim in, Albany board. Right. That is where you will be, and that will 100% happen. Wow. And you'll go, wow, I manifested it because there's no other way to be at a baggage claim except board.
Right.
Which, by the way, when I was doing some modeling last week at a photo shoot, I asked the photographer for
God.
advice about how to model.
Is that what happened?
What?
I have never seen more beautiful pictures.
Well, I think that photographer was really, really, really
Oh
good.
my God.
Because I didn't bring anything to the table that was different.
It
But
was
she told me
incredible.
that you would never think this from a fashion photographer to give advice on how to look like a great model, a great high fashion model.
Oh my God.
This is brilliant because it is exactly the note, but you would never give this, you would never think. She
Pray
goes,
tell.
bored at a bus stop.
Oh, whoa.
And now look at fashion
Whoa.
models, and they always look bored at a bus stop.
Wow.
Pissed, angry that the bus is late, and bored at a bus stop. And I just would look bored.
Oh my God.
You almost like I was trying too much with my face before. I feel like like even Cara Delevingne. I remember one time she said, "It's not about making faces; it's about like not doing things with your face. It's about like an attitude that you exude by thinking more than like
Bored at a
doing your
bus
face."
stop. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never seen such professional pictures.
Yeah, I did this photo shoot for this amazing fashion magazine that I don't think I can talk about yet, but it was like the highest. It was like the most fashion-y thing I've ever done in my life. And I felt imposter syndrome was on fleek that day. And I know on fleek is not something anyone says anymore, but I could not believe that I was in this setting. And then after the day was done, Emily was like, girl, can I send pictures to your mom? Because I think she would love these. And she goes, I know you don't want to see them, but I feel like your mom needs to. And I was like, of course you can. And so she sent you a bunch of pictures from the day, and she said that you guys are best friends now.
Oh, God love her.
I guess you don't feel the same way.
God bless her soul.
Sorry, Emily. She's listening for
I
sure.
love what she's done for you. And I love that she sent me those pictures. I
But
was like,
friends?
But friends.
I don't know.
She was like, I love Julie.
Oh,
we
God.
chat now. It's happening.
Yeah. We haven't chatted enough as far as I'm concerned.
You should chat more. She loves you. She loves
I
you.
will. I didn't know. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, they're great pictures. I cannot wait till this comes out. Mm-hmm. It's going to be. I thought. Well, now you're going into modeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be a. Oh, I'm not kidding.
I will say.
Have you seen them yet?
I saw one, and it
Okay.
was really good.
Yeah,
but
really good.
modeling is very, very hard, and I would not want to do it because you have zero control. I just didn't feel control. It's like you can't talk. It's like my way of like being entertaining and feeling like I have any kind of power or
say.
control is like talking and like having words to express myself, like just looks and your body and like movement. Like that's why it's so funny that like that would be a
crazy.
medium I would ever do well in. And also like these lip sync videos I've been doing, like, and then Brian saying last week, like, so you came up with the choreography. Like, that's so funny to me because I've never been good at my body it only betrays me. But it is something that I've thrown myself into
So
every
fun.
weekend because it's really fun. I'm just trying to do fun stuff.
That's cool.
But the photo shoot was really fun. You just blast the music you want to listen to, and then you have a bunch of people putting things on you, and you do realize that as a model, though, you are like a commodity, and you're just there.
Gotcha.
And they
You're a
treated me a little
product.
probably better than a model generally gets treated because I'm not there for the product. I'm more there for like myself.
You are the product.
And they have to be. I'm not. But I think modeling is probably a very dehumanizing experience
Oh.
because you're being like pinned and poked and people are commenting on your body. Well, no, show her shoulder. Actually, no, that's not good. Like,
I don't
and they
believe
forget
that.
that
Yeah.
you are attached to the things that they're commenting
You're not a
on.
person. You are a vehicle for a product. You're just
You're
like a
a coat
shelf.
hanger.
You're a
Yeah,
hot
you
shelf.
You are.
Listen,
You are.
those girls that are high GG or whatever her name.
Yeah.
Those girls are all, living the life.
Well, once you
Don't think they're
transcend the generic model and become
Yeah, I'm
a
talking about
superstar
models
model,
for like
Yeah.
J. Crew or Amazon, like,
Okay,
or
gotcha.
any, Revolve. These girls that just have to put on 1,000 outfits in one
Gotcha.
day.
Yeah.
I'm just
I see
standing
what you're
there
saying.
like, it's,
Temu.
yeah, no. And I don't
they're
know
all
that
going to be
these-
replaced. They're going to be replaced by AI anyway.
I mean,
Everything on like
why haven't they
Amazon
been
and Temu.
already? It's insane. It would be the easiest thing to replace, but I don't think they
Yeah.
should. But like,
No,
I just
no.
think that's definitely coming.
Yeah, the tech billionaires have
Not
our
even
best interest
thought
in
about
heart.
But then who would tech billionaires fuck? if there weren't models.
If they weren't
We have to
shipping
keep
in
them
models
around.
No, that's a good point. I think that
Okay.
that's the one thing that'll save us is if they can just fuck them, then
Because
they'll
it's
have
not
their jobs.
interesting to say I'm fucking a beautiful woman. It's better to say I'm fucking a model. Like that
A
gives them a point
Brazilian
of
model.
pride.
Yeah.
Right? Like so
Right.
they have to keep them
Right.
working and modeling. The robots will not the AI will not replace models because
Right.
men want to be able to say they
They're
fuck models.
controlling
That's
it.
right. That is
We figured it out.
100% correct.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
good. We cracked the code. Okay, we'll be back after this.
1994 Winter Olympics. I've uncovered where it was. It's in Lillehammer, which is in Norway. Lillehammer. And do you remember that there was like one of the very first Netflix actual scripted shows after
Yeah.
what was the first one? Orange is the New Black. After that was Lillehammer, this show that starred this like one of the side characters from The Sopranos who had to go into witness protection. He was playing basically the character from The Sopranos, but he wasn't actually the character from The Sopranos. That's just his range, I guess. He was a mobster in New York who had to go into witness protection and chose to go to Lillehammer, Norway. And it was like a fish out of water, Italian New York guy in Norway going, hey, what's with all these reindeer and snow? And everyone's like, this guy's too aggressive. And he's like, actually, I'm a nice guy.
It's probably still on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I actually think, no, it's still on, but I think maybe they're going to remove it soon because it's so like old Netflix, it's like Netflix BC,
God.
before.
It's so
Christ.
crazy how much effort and
All the
money
money.
goes into
Yeah.
these shows that we just forget about instantly.
Yeah, especially with the binge model. The binge model needs to end. It has ruined.
If models aren't
consumption.
binging, how do they and purging? How will they stay thin? Okay, the binge model.
Here's what happens
It
when
needs
you
to
have
end.
when you have the
I
binge
don't
model.
What is that?
You wind
It's
up.
the model where they drop the whole season of TV in one day instead of
Oh,
weekly.
I see.
So they
Gotcha.
allow you to binge
Sorry.
on it. Yes.
Okay.
Everybody winds up watching the show in the weekend it comes out, and no one talks about it ever again. And there used to be a time where there'd be weeks between the episodes where people would discuss the show, and it would become
Yeah.
a thing in culture. And because of the binge model, not only are we now missing those discussions, but it's also hindering our culture. Like, there's no more like, hey, what's going to happen on Game of Thrones? What's going to happen on The Wire? What's going to happen on Sex and the City? It's like,
I haven't watched that yet, so don't talk about it. I
Exactly.
haven't gotten there yet.
But
so
then
let's
you're talking
stop
about it,
No,
so-
but you end the conversation because you go, no more spoilers. I haven't finished it yet, so we're not talking about this anymore.
Well, it's a suspense thing. I like it.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that suspense thing. We would all be on board. We'd all watch TV at the same time. We'd all find out what happened. On
Right.
the next
Why don't they
episode.
do that? What's the
Because why
benefit?
don't they do it, Brian?
What's the benefit of the binge?
well, Netflix tried to disrupt the industry by doing the binge system because they don't have commercials. They just want subscriptions. And everyone followed suit because Netflix was so successful with it. The second thing that happened, it wasn't really just like, here's why it was just like, we're going to try this. And it was like working, I guess.
And I
now
guess they have
think
enough
people-
money to make enough content to
That's
they
the
don't
other
need
problem.
to parse it out.
The other problem is when you have a binge show and it gets released, the show gets watched in a weekend or a week and then it's over. And then the next season of the show is not going to come out for
2
like
years.
2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
It used to
Yeah.
be a show was parsed out over 10 to 15 weeks over the course of the year. So while episode 4 was airing for the first time,
They got a pickup, and then they would start writing the next season as
Exactly.
that season was still airing. So then by
Right.
the time that season was over, they were in pre-production for the next season, and then you would probably get the next season within a year.
Within
and
a
now
year.
that has been like, it's now you get the next season. Like nobody wants this. There was a big, like that obviously was a hit right away, and they picked up a second season, and I think they're writing it right now. But it's going to be, then they have to shoot it. Then they have to edit it. And it's going to be
Yeah.
a while before that dumps again, even though people are clamoring for a second
Right.
season.
Yes.
Like that could,
You lose
nobody
all
wants
the
this would
momentum.
it wouldn't have even, the season 1 wouldn't have even been finished yet if they were just parsing it out week by week.
Right. People would be talking about it every week. It would still be in the zeitgeist. It would still be number 1 on Netflix. And then the next people are going to forget about Nobody Wants This. And then 2.5 years from now, when Nobody Wants This 2 comes out, people will be like, oh yeah, I remember that
Like
show.
Flight Attendant. Remember Flight Attendant? It was all anyone could talk about.
Yeah.
And then no one watched the second season.
Yeah, no, I mean,
because the momentum was gone.
Handmaid's
And
Tale.
I
Handmaid's
feel
Tale
bad.
the final seasons of Handmaid's Tale, people are like, that show is still on the air. Whereas the first 3 seasons, everybody was, but 2 years, and that they suffered from COVID, but like a 2-year gap is too long to expect us to remember a show
Well,
that we liked.
And I just feel
And
bad for people
characters.
who make these things or are in them, because when I've been on a TV show that is going over 13 weeks, you get that, you feel like you're working for that 13 weeks. You made the show, that felt like you work, and then you're like, I'm still working, I'm still promoting this show. As soon as it airs and it's done airing, you're like, I gotta move on to the next thing. So there's that.
Yep.
The second it premieres, you already have that sense of loss.
Yeah.
Right.
That you don't even get to like enjoy
Oh
this
my
like kind
God.
of rollout. And I mean, it's kind of like a movie. I mean, it just comes out and then it's gone. I guess it's like the same kind of vibe as a movie, but
a movie is a product in and of itself. It sucks for the staffs. It sucks for the quality of the show suffers too, because if you have a hit show with a full staff and then it gets released in a binge model and then it gets picked up, all of the writers for that show need to get other jobs in order to make money. You're much less likely to retain your staff if you're doing a binge model than if you were releasing it week by week and getting a pickup and having a rolling cycle. Because every time you do a
Right.
job, you need to go get another job immediately because it's over quickly and you don't know if it's going to get picked up and you have to move on.
and then when it does get picked up, you aren't available because you had another job. So they have
Right.
to like find someone else to be the new.
You ever
keeper.
wonder
And then-
why, like, well, season 1 was so amazing and then season 2 sucked? It's because they didn't get the same writers.
Right, because
Yeah.
those people had to go find other jobs.
Right.
Yikes. Final thought.
Wow.
What do you got going for the rest of the day?
I might go down to our river,
Oh yeah, my parents' river cabin flooded.
just halfway, and it's
The
just
bottom
like,
level.
yeah, bottom level, which it can flood.
Because it's a concrete floor. It's like a basement almost. Yeah.
But you got to scoop out that inch of mud,
yeah.
and it's just a mess. But we're almost done. Hey, we got it done.
Yeah.
We put 8 hours in. I'm like,
I cannot
I'm taking track.
believe. How was your body feeling?
It's fine.
Really?
Yeah, I feel great.
Oh my God. How's your
I said
hand?
I was so mad at your father for posting
No.
that to you. I said Nikki's going to be so upset that I'm
I'm
doing
out.
physical.
I'm just like, I give up. It's like
Yeah,
this
no,
election
I-
has made me so like anything that I used to be like upset about, I'm just like, it's none of my business anymore. If dad wants to tell you to go when you have an injured wife who's constantly complaining about her body aching, if you want to tell her to go on a 100-mile canoe trip with you and your friends, and she says yes, you know what? That's
You
up to
can't
her.
do anything
I
about
guess
it.
I guess that's just what's going to happen. If you have a 65-year-old woman who has to scrape mud for 8 hours instead of hiring someone for $100 to do it for you or whatever it
Where
would
do
be,
you find those people?
Craigslist. Honestly,
Honestly,
Yeah.
it wasn't really that big of a deal.
2 guys and a shovel,
I
whatever
honestly-
the company
Go to
was
Home
called.
Depot.
It was great exercise, and
Is it?
It was.
Well, I knew I had a feeling that when Dad sent those, you were going to be like, "Don't send her those," and so I purposely didn't write back anything.
No, I know you
like,
did.
why are you doing this
I knew that.
yourselves?
I knew that.
will pay to have someone do this
I
for
know.
you because
I was mad at him. I was
don't
like,
care
why
anymore.
are you doing that?
Why would you live an extra 10 years longer because you don't do that to your body? Then do it, and then
10?
you save $150 or whatever. I think save money now. Don't worry about the damage.
It's really,
it's doing to your
I did
brittle,
not listen to me.
vulnerable body.
Listen, I actually really was taking care to not overdo anything.
Okay.
I promise you.
Well, you're feeling good, so
Yeah,
it must have worked.
And that was 3 days.
Did you
ago.
get your hand scan back?
No, I go 2 days. I get my.
How long does it take for them to have
Oh,
a
it's
fucking
unbelievable.
result of an MRI?
No, I had an MRI. I'm not allowed to know what's going on yet until I get this. It's a nerve study that I'm having done on Thursday. They do a nerve study on my hand to see if if there's entrapment or whatever, which I'm sure there is, and we'll find out after that.
What would have caused that? Like inflammation?
No, it's just like an old injury that re-bumped or something. It's not broken.
You wish.
I wish I would had an answer like that.
Wouldn't that have been great?
It would have just
when
been
you found
like,
out it was like whenever they do
Yeah.
a scan and then they go, no, it's
It's
looks
fine.
great. Oh,
well, we
great.
don't see a break. And it's like, what? There's no break there?
I think Brian would say do DNRS on this.
He could say that, but trust me, there's something going on.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
an injury. It's
Yeah.
an injury that just needs to be, give me a shot.
Wait, did you get the hand brace that I sent to your home?
Yeah.
It
and
didn't work?
It just, you can't sleep with that thing. It's so
Oh, my
obnoxious.
God. I'm sorry.
No, but
We tried.
you tried.
Yeah.
It's great. But anyway, I'll have more answers. My hand is numb when I wake up in the morning.
Oh,
my
my
whole hand.
God.
Yeah.
So something's going on. But anyway, I'm getting it. I'm working on this. But I was said to the girl, what if I have no feeling in my hand all day?
Right.
Why do I am I on hold for this nerve study?
Well, because
Because you can't get in doctors.
you can't I can't get into any doctor in town for
You
a
can't
general. I can't get a doctor.
No, it's a
and
joke.
I drop. People go drop your name. Oh, I do. No one has any room. There's
Oh, my
nowhere to
God.
go.
Yeah.
And then once
You
you,
need-
go, it's. I don't know what to do.
concierge, Nikki.
Yeah, you
It's
need a concierge.
$15,000. $15,000 for the year, and you can see a doctor whenever you want in a moment's notice.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
you
get, like, a
You have
direct
enough
line.
money to get concierge.
Yep.
Will you send me the
That's
info
the
on that? Because
future.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't have the
I'll see.
info. I
My
know
sister
some
has
people
a
who do use it though.
She does?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we get you that too? That would be amazing.
I don't.
I would rather give that to you than me.
Isn't
I
that
don't
cute?
need that.
What a daughter I have. My God.
I mean, who wouldn't? If you have that money to spend, why wouldn't
I
you?
don't
want
know
your-
if it's
'cause I want my mom to be
It's
on a
$15,000
list.
15,000. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I mean, it
All
costs
right.
you to go, but it's $15,000 for your your membership
membership.
to the
You're
doctor.
not
It depends
on-
on the doctor,
Yeah. And you can't.
and they don't take
the
insurance or anything.
No.
Yeah, no, it's
Right,
all
but
out
that's
of pocket.
okay.
It's the it's just
At
the
least you
income
could see
inequality
someone
keeps
right away.
spreading. Yeah,
It's a great.
anybody who has any problem at all, like the answer to your problem is money. You just
Yeah.
need more money. And if you can't see a doctor, if you just had enough money, you could see it. There's plenty of doctors who are just there to take rich people's money, and they totally ignore all the poor people and regular people because they don't take insurance. They don't have to. And that's the
Yeah.
answer.
Oh, and also, if you are in trouble with the law, if you just have enough money to hire the right lawyer, a judge will hear your case that is the same as someone else's that doesn't have that lawyer.
Right.
And the lawyer says nothing different to defend you than the person next to you that is, there for the same possession charge or whatever you got caught doing. And you'll get off if you have that lawyer because they have a deal with the judge.
Right.
And then the person who did the same thing as you doesn't and has to be on probation for 2 years. I witnessed that happen to
Really?
myself because I had a good lawyer that someone else got for me
Right.
because we got busted together
Right.
on the street smoking weed,
Right.
over a decade ago. We go to court and we have an amazing lawyer because the friend I got arrested with was super rich and was like, I'm at fault here. I'm going to take care of you. I'm like, great. We stood up to get our you go to court and it's like, everyone stands up as they read each one. We got busted for smoking weed in the street. Not like we didn't have a lot on us or anything. All we got was you just for a year you just can't have another drug charge and then it'll be expunged from your record. No community service, nothing. Then the next person had the same charge
By the
and
same cops.
judge.
But the same cops, same.
Well, it doesn't matter.
kind?
The cops, it was same charge, but it was the judge sentencing. Same thing.
Right.
And they get a year of probation and 100 hours of community service or whatever. And I go, why? What shouldn't it be? This gets
It's ridiculous.
this. It's just everything's about money, and so that's why when I am like motivated by money, it's like duh. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And then people go, why are you shouldn't be motivated by money. You shouldn't be motivated by aesthetic things. Well, when you're hot, people throw money at you. When you're
Yeah.
famous, they throw money at you. So me wanting to be famous, me wanting to be hot, me wanting to be rich, it's all because I want to just not go to jail and I want health care.
Right.
So there's nothing vapid about those pursuits at all because
Right.
if you look at it, that's the way this world works and it's fucking shitty. And that's why people with money should spread the money as I try to do as much as possible. But the problem is everyone that gets money is greedy as fuck and convinces themselves that they did something so special to be rich and other people who aren't rich aren't. You just didn't do as good as me because I'm special and I did better than you and I'm better than you. And God chose me to be rich and he didn't choose you. And that must be because you're a bad person. when it really has nothing to do with that.
Right.
Yep.
And those who can understand that more quickly, I don't even think it's possible for most people to understand that because it requires empathy, which is apparently
Right.
gay now to have empathy. It means you're weak. It means you are a sucker to have empathy. It's really all twisted.
Really sad.
I really see the messaging being like, if you have empathy, used to be a good thing to have. And it is literally something that people look down upon people for having.
Weird.
You see it? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. No, I
it's
see
why
it.
we're in this position that we're in.
Right.
Everyone needs to look out for themselves, not for other
Right.
people. And what does looking out for other people require you to have? Empathy. And if you
Right.
don't have it, you don't care about other people.
Right.
And so it's just, Brian, you were saying it. It's just easier. Dog eat dog. Just
It's dog eat dog. That's
and
what
so
I'm saying.
the sooner that you accept that and just look out for number one and no one else, the better time you'll have on this planet.
Yikes.
But I'm not doing that anytime soon. I love being miserable. I love being disappointed in other people. It motivates me. Makes me to continue to work, being disappointed in myself and others. And so I'm in a great fucking position right now for my career in life. I hope this was fun for you guys to listen to. Mom, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh my God. So much
Brian,
fun.
thank you. Noah, thank you. Thank you, besties. I'll see you out on the road. NikkiGlaser.com for tour dates. So many more. So many
Check
more.
us out tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, yeah,
If you're
tonight.
watching
Oh,
this
my
on
God, it's
Thursday.
tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah, Thursday
right.
Night Football on Amazon Prime. Not
Philly.
This is recorded before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll be in Philly tonight on the field at the Eagles and Buccaneers
Post-game.
game. Post-game show on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Binge it. Bye, guys. Don't be cool. Bye.